Hello, good people of Ableton land. I am back once again. I have a big update to Prismatica. First, I want to say thank you to all of the customers. This release, I wasn't sure what people would think about this one, but it's been my most successful to date. I've received a bunch of nice comments that people are inspired by the device. People have been making videos using the device. It thrills me, honestly. I'm so happy with the way it's been received. And this is also probably the most ambitious device I've made to date. And so there definitely have been a couple bugs here and there that I've been working on squashing. I've already released a couple small updates, but now I'm releasing a larger update. And it's all inspired by comments from you, the musicians using the thing. That's one of my favorite things about this process, where I release something and I really don't think that that is the end of the road for it. When you purchase it, that's not the end. It's the beginning of a conversation. And people have been reaching out saying, I'm enjoying this, but what if it did this? What if it did this? What if it had this? And it's so inspiring because I'm only one musician, one developer. And of course, all you other musicians have other ideas, and they're brilliant ideas. And so I'm trying to incorporate as many of those as I can. So I'm just going to walk you through a few of the new changes to Prismatica. We're going to start with the pitch selectors for the 4 loop heads. As you can see now, there's little labels below the pitch selector. And basically, I'm making it so you don't have to do fancy math calculations in your head to figure out the pitch that you want your audio to be at. I now have a bunch more presets of usable, workable musical intervals. And so, as you can see here, when I change, the little label changes. And so here we have up 2 octaves, up 3 octaves. And then when you see a P, that stands for perfect. So that's a perfect 11th. So I believe that would be a octave plus a fourth. And then we have, when you see a lowercase m, that's minor. So that's a minor ninth. Then an uppercase M is a major ninth, perfect fifth, just a bunch of different ones. And of course, going down 2 and then going into the reverse. And I think this just makes it easier for you to find interesting intervals to play back your sounds at. You can, of course, still use these to get the real crazy high sounds. And when you do that, this label will just change to custom. And then when you move this again, it'll go back to the regular labeled intervals. So that, I think, is a very handy feature to have. Number 2, we've changed up this Explore panel. As you can see, there used to be one knob that said Seek here, and that would basically morph between the different presets. But somebody reached out and said, it would be nice if I could also just jump without that interpolation, because when you're interpolating, the pitches are going to be out of tune for a while until they get to that next level. And so now there's 2 options. We still have the morph, which used to be called Seek, and we can morph between them. But then we have jump, and we can literally just jump from one to the next with nothing in between, just boom, next one. And so you could automate this. I think there's all sorts of uses for that. Great idea. Thank you for reaching out. Also, I've been working on the automation of the device. There was a few controls here that were kind of the automation was being recorded when it didn't need to be, such as these. I've turned off the automation for these pitch dials. Instead, you can still turn them and the automation will be recorded, but all the automation is happening through these number boxes here. Another one, or the last one that I'm quite excited about feature-wise, is multi-outs. This was a feature requested by many people, and it was something I had been dreaming about since the beginning, and now it's possible. So if you don't want to use multi-outs, nothing will change for you at all. Everything will still just come out of the main outs. But if you do want to use multi-outs, I'm going to show you how I would set it up. Essentially now we'll make some new tracks here in Ableton, and we'll call this one bass, we'll call this one looper 1, and I'll fast forward through this. So now we have 5 tracks. Let's just label this so it's clear. So we can go into this bass track, and we can say audio from Prismatica. And then now you see we have 5 separate outs here, all stereo. The second pair of outs, it's called 3 and 4, and that is just the bass loop. So we can put that there, and we'll basically do the same process here, and I'll speed this up. So the next looper 1 is 5/6. the next looper 2 is 7/8. Looper 3 is 9/10. And looper 4 is 11/12. And now we can affect these individually. We can pitch them around. It opens up a lot of possibilities. So when you are using it in this mode, these gain knobs will no longer have any effect because now we can control the gain on each of our channels. Same with this bass gain. The audio will go out regardless of whether this is turned on or not. And everything else should stay the same. But I really do think this opens up a lot of possibilities. I will show you just a quick example with some stereo, some panning, and maybe some effects. So now I've put some various effects on each of these looper tracks, and we will now go back to Prismatica and just give it a play, first with just the 1 and 2 loopers playing. And then we'll bring in 3 and 4. And then it's always best to stop playback before you stop the transport. Just a little tip. I am actually so excited about this update. I think that multi-out feature alone just adds so much more value to this device, and I hope you agree. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for buying this device, for sending nice messages, for sending suggestions, for helping me squash little bugs. Thank you for posting clips of you using the device. It inspires me so much. I've said it before. I appreciate you all so very much for allowing me to be a stay-at-home dad and do this, and I hope you enjoy the update. It is live now if you're watching this video. Thank you for your time, and peace.